What's good, YouTube? Anti-Yami here, back with another video, and today I'm going to give you some Orcust Mitsurugi Fiendsmith gameplay. And what I'm going to do is I'll show you guys my record. I know I haven't played in like 3 days or whatever, and it's been some days since I played, but this is so far the record. It started like right here, and this is the record of the deck so far. Lots of funny matchups. A couple of Malice, couple of Mitsurugi, Ryziel, things of that nature. But I'm going to go over these top 2 replays here. Hopefully I can get some more replays before Nats. But let's go ahead and dive into this first one, and we'll do the second one right here. So I win the Dyro, and I go first, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and keep my opponent's hand on, hidden for right now, because this game right here will showcase how strong and how resilient this deck can be under the right circumstances. It's really hard to stop going first at times, right? So I go first, and I'm going ahead and going to start with the Habakiri. He changed Ferraros. I Ash. Thank God I had Ash, because Ferraros do cook this deck very well. Then I went ahead and go Saji effect. So obviously he doesn't have Ash here because he would have Ashed that. Goes ahead and does Droll. And then I go ahead and Mitsurugi Ritual, and I'm going to summon from deck so I can summon my Murakumo. Then after that, luckily I have a normal summon Kusanagi targeting my Ritual, and then he goes Bell for that. Honestly, I like this Bell a lot because, one, he really thinks I can do something with his Ritual spell. This is a really bad Bell on his part, but yeah, I was happy to see Bell here because now I'm like, ooh, I can chain the Murakumo, and he's most likely going to discard a card, right? So yeah, my opponent is literally bleeding hand advantage right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the effect of Murakumo, and then he's gonna discard Lacrima. I'm like, okay, Lacrima, Fiendsmith deck, okay. So I was like, this card in hand has to be better than Lacrima. So I was like confused on what deck was this. So I was like, okay, cool. Then I went ahead and thought about it a little bit. I'm like, okay, I need something a little bit better than Murakumo discard. So I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and go into Fiendsmith Engine because I'm under Droll, and that's it, right? And Fiendsmith does not care for Droll whatsoever. So I went ahead and went into Moon, Requiem, Lacrima dumps, then go into Requiem, boom, boom, go into Necroquip. Then we're going to use the effect of Engraver. We're going to shuffle back our Moon, bringing back out the Engraver, overlay into DDD. And now we have the Lacrima setup, Fiendsmith follow-up, and High King Caesar on top of Droplets. And then we can use Droplets to send Crescendo to have follow-up for next turn. Don't know how I lose this game, honestly. High King Caesar in this grind game state is insane. So he tops decks, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal his hand. He top decked another Genroku. Didn't know he top decked that, but this is unfortunate. So I was like, draw phase. I went ahead and did the Lacrima, summoning out the Requiem, and I'm like, okay, here we go. He normal summons. He can't activate the effect because he would just lose to Caesar. So he goes into Typhon, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then I'm going to use the effect of Requiem, summoning Lacrima effect dumping the Paradise. And then he goes battle phase, try to beat over. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then he goes effect, and I'm like, okay, if I let him bounce this, I don't really get my Droplets follow up. So I went ahead and Droplets anyway. And that's gonna put Crescendo in the graveyard, and it's gonna lock me into Dark Machines, but that's all I need to win this game. So if he Ash it, cool, I can play with the Fiendsmith cards. If he doesn't Ash it, then I just win the game, right? So I draw into Aramasa, which is another really, really good card here. So I'm like, cool. It's kind of dead here because I think I already used Habakiri effect already. So it's kind of dead. But it's still something, right? Then I'm going to go ahead, draw phase, Crescendo to play around Droll, normal summon Harp. And then the reason why I went with this line is because I didn't want to just like get hit with a Veiler, or well, obviously Veiler's the only card that can stop it, and not have access to Harp. Because if he would have like Ashed this, then Harp pops off. But if he Ash to Harp, I still have like Orcust stuff flowing, right? Because I will get into Girsu and still have follow-up, and he still has to beat a High King Caesar, and it's just tough, right? It's just tough. So right now I am locked into Dark Machine, so no Fiendsmith, no Mitsurugi. I search for Royal Crown, Dark Machine, special summon, link into 2. Go into Galatea here. Galatea is going to just set me up with a lot of advantage here. I'm going to go Harp effect. Harp is going to summon out Girsu. Girsu effect is going to dump Nightmare. Nightmare effect is going to target my Caesar, dumping 1. 1 effect, special summoning the Nightmare. And then I'm going to shuffle back to 1, putting the Babble on field. Then link into 4 effect to shuffle back my Crescendo, take, and it's game over. So game number 2. I'm gonna hide his hand. Ooh, hide it. I did hide it. Okay. So, my starting hand I meant to show off this is that I started with Saji, Horror, Baldrake, Aramasa, and Foolish. And I decided to lead with Saji because I had Foolish Burial, and this gives me like technically more pushes, because if the Orcust engine like fully resolved, then Foolish Burial doesn't really do anything. So this was kind of like a test. Realistically, if I didn't draw Sanji, the best summon was Aramasa. Aramasa searches the Harpakiri effect, tribute Saji from the field, and play from there. But unfortunately, I drew Saji and it just sucks. So I had to do this, and I'm testing a lot of things here. So right, so then I get hit with a Droll, which is totally fine. Droll does not do anything really to Orcust or Fiendsmith, so who cares? And I decided not to chain because I'm going to use this card for follow-up, right? So that's kind of why I did that. So Foolish Burial into Harpor. And if he had like a Bestial here, or if he had anything of the sorts, it would have been insane. But yeah, Ash does cook here a lot. And there's just nothing I can really do about this. I will have to pass and pretty much lose. So he has Bestial, which is very unfortunate. He summons Bestial. And then I set 1 pass. He draws. He activates Kaiman, and we pretty much know this is pretty much game on board, or it's just pretty much over. Showing his hand, he has Engraver, Magma Mood. Like, bro, my man was like cooking here. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward. And I try my best to like fight back, but I'm like, it's just no way, right? It's a Tenpai player, so you just never know. They might throw, that might mess up. But there's just no shot he messes this up. It's just no way, right? So I was like, all right, you got it. I kept trying to play for some reason, but it's just pretty much over. It's just no way. Full field. I pretty much showed him that my set card was nothing. So it's like, whatever. All right, so now we go into game number 3 here. I decided to go first because if I draw decent enough and I set up a nice size board, I pretty much win this game. So I felt really confident of going first. There's a good chance I could have let him go first, but I was like, I'll go first, right? So he goes Lancia, which is like whatever, and then goes Prulia, which is whatever, all in standby phase, right? So I went like Saint. This plays around both those cards right now. Go into Requiem, and then we're gonna see if he has Ash here. Does have Ash. So boom. Normal summon. I give him a draw here. And this resolves. So this is going to be really insane because I'm not going to really summon from the hand. And I am under Lancia. And yeah, we're going to set up as much as we possibly could. Tokens. And then we're going to go into Link 1. Link 1. We're going to send that. We're going to add the Babble. And we're going to activate. Well, he draws me here. So like the Prulia is not going to get much value here anyway. So the draw here was really good on his part. So yeah, that is completely fine. Then I'm thinking because like my dumb self knew I was on a Lancia, and I think I do this cheat here. So I should have, and I can't, by the way, I can't go for Fiendsmith stuff because I already went for Requiem. So I went for this, and this is really bad because I'm under Lancia and I got rid of his token. Which is a 0/0 token, which is like whatever. It in the grand scheme of things didn't really matter, but we both missed this for some odd reason here. No, I caught it. Okay. Wait, he removes a token. I literally said right because I couldn't do that. And he kept the token for a little bit and he just gets rid of the token for some reason. That's so weird. Okay, whatever, dude. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened, but it's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and go for the Link 1 here. So we can get the Crescendo live, and then he chains Call by the Grave. I'm gonna go ahead and show his hand. And he has Bell plus Singing Summoning. And you can already tell this is gonna be pretty much wrapped because I'm just gonna Ash the Singing Summoning and it's gonna be over. So yeah, so we're gonna Ash that. He passes back. Or sorry, no, he normal summons Bell, go into Typhon again. Enter battle phase, beat over. I take the damage. And now we just go for Heart Pourer. On end phase, Girsu, you know, boom, target that, doesn't really matter. Going for a Wand. And this is going to set us up way more follow-up. Enough follow-up to win the game. Even if I don't kill him, I can have enough advantage where his top deck does not matter. And Singing Summoning would not matter. So, we're going to go Girsu effect tokens. Because, you know, advantage is fun. We already went to the Link 1, so we don't do the Link 1. I only play 1 in this deck because all you need is 1. I feel like if you play your deck correctly, you only need 1 Galatea and 1 Link 1 Galatea. So, yeah. Then I went ahead and did this because I was setting myself up to connect myself into Mitsurugi here. So, yep. I'm going to overlay it into the Pharaoh Imps. Detach. Activate the effect. And now we have Horror plus Mirakumo here. And this is pretty much over. So we're just going to go ahead and play this out. But, yeah. He is thinking that I'm machine locked. And I'm not machine locked. I'm dark locked. So, yep. We're going to go ahead and keep going. We're going to do our standard combos here. We're going to summon from hand, tribute, the 2 monsters from deck. And then, since we already had Mirakumo in the graveyard, because we discarded off the first Link 1 effect, it's fine. We don't need Mirakumo here to nuke anything. We're still pretty at a good advantage here. Yeah, so we're going to keep playing. And this is just enough because these actually stack. So his Typhon is losing 16 attacks, so we can just easily beat over it. Then we go into Girsu here. Girsu is going to dump Symbol. And then we're going to link into Galatea. Galatea is going to shuffle back our Link 1. And then we go into Link 4. Shuffle back the Wand. And then we're going to take the Typhon here. And funny enough, Typhon can bounce the token here. Which I don't know why I said, well, this is game on board anyway, which wouldn't matter. But I could go Ding, send Fill Spell, Typhon bounce token, and game's over here. So yeah, he goes, you cheated me for me. I don't know what that means. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the second game of this replay, or this video. For our next replay here, I believe this is versus Memeto. I remember playing this guy. He was pretty solid, I guess, overall. I don't remember. I remember I went against one Memeto player, and he was just having a bad day, man. He was just making misclicks and taking things back and stuff like that. But let me just peek at one card. Okay. All right. So he goes first, and my opening hand is Sunk, Lakima, Crescendo, Habakiri, and Droplets. And in his hand, he has Memento, Bone Party, Draw and Lockbird, Bone Party, Fusion, and Breakout. So his hand is not good. Like, not good at all, honestly. Didn't realize it was that bad. Good God. But he still has a play here, right? So he numbers summons Droll and goes into the Breakout, which summons the Goblin. And I'm going to let him cook here because I don't really know the optimal mental combos here. But this is very weird for him. And he can get back into it because he has Bone Party. He has the Fusion in hand. And basically he gets to full combo anyway. So he's just popping off here. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Memento on DB. And I don't know what's going on with that. Because I think the deck is very, very high. I mean, hard to play, and I don't know if it's like the call for this particular format, especially with like Impulse running around, and it's very good into Charmy, so I guess that's why a lot of people play Mementos at this current moment. And it is a hard deck to play into, because if you don't really know how the deck works and stuff like that, you can hand trap it wrong, and you know, it can be very advantage wise. But he resets the, I forgot what he resets here. I know he resets the Bone Party. I think both of those are Bone Parties. I don't know if this is a Bone Party. No, one of these is a fusion. I can't remember what it was, but I think this is a fusion and this is a Bone Party. So yeah, he doesn't set the other Bone Party, and he has Anguish in hand for, you know, follow up. So, and he says he misplayed. So, I mean, I guess that's fair. I guess he messed up somewhere in his combo, but this is still pretty solid. This is a lot of stuff, a lot of time for follow up. And yeah, he's cooking. So I start here. And I'm thinking like, all right, how do I out everything here and put myself in an advantage here? Because I don't have access to Orcust stuff at the moment. I could technically get into Orcust if Zombie Vampire resolves, but likely not happening. So we're going to go for Habakiri. And we're going to go Sanji, testing to see if he has Ash. He changed that. So I'm like, all right, cool. He doesn't have Ash here because most likely he will Ash. And doesn't have Droll here, which is like, oh, thank God. So no Ash, no Droll. And this is mostly a board breaking deck. So a lot of the times they might have like Super Poly, Droplets, and then like Charmies. So the cards in his hand after like no Ash, no Droll, I was like confident. So I go for the summon from deck. And I'm going to go ahead and try to nuke his board and search off of Habakiri. He chains. I chain this effect, and then he just discards, and then chains Bone Party, popping, adding Anguish anyway, and yep. He gets effects here, so he gets like the fill spell, he gets this guy, Acreon, whatever his name is, he gets that effect, so he's still got a lot of cards resolving here, and he's still, I'm pretty sure this is that a Bone Party? I don't think that's Bone Party. I think that's Memeto Fusion, if I'm not mistaken, right? Pretty sure that's Memeto Fusion. And I'm surprised he didn't summon back an Anguish here. Wouldn't you summon Anguish? Like, search Sleepy here? I feel like that's, like, the better play here, right? I mean, I had Droplets to cover that because I wanted him to do that. But I think, yeah, I don't know. That was a kind of a weird play for my opponent. I feel like Anguish searching Sleepy was, like, better. But anyway, so I go number summon Lacrima effect, dumping Engraver. We're gonna go into Requiem, and since I only play one each of the Fiendsmith cards, I use Engraver to shuffle back the Lacrima. Requiem is gonna summon back the Lacrima, and now we're gonna go into a sequence effect. It's gonna shuffle back the monsters here, and we're gonna go for a Desiree. And since we have Paradise cooks, right? So I was happy to get this far with my combo. I beat over the Dark Blade, and then I'm going to set 1, 2, and 3 here. And again, we got the Droplets plus Crescendo here. So this is really, really good because it's not bad to discard these trap cards because all these trap cards has graveyard effects, which I feel like is very, 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 very handy in this deck. Especially you got lots of ways to discard with Droplets and the Link 1. So it's not bad to draw sometimes. And yeah, Mirakuma comes back because it was SP'd. So now he draws Droplets here. He goes Bone Party. So it wasn't that a Bone Party. No Momentum Fusion. He definitely messed up there. I feel like there was a way to have Bone Party and Momentum Fusion, but yeah, I think he searched the wrong card. I think he might have searched Bone Party off Momentum. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know what he did, but I definitely see where he should have ended on Momentum Fusion. So, yeah, that gave me the advantage here. So if he goes Bone Party, I chain Mitsurugi. He changed SP Little Knight. I chain Prayers. And I think he just lets that go. So then now Mirakuma is going to come back out. I'm going to go ahead and pay. I'm going to search Kozunagi, summon Saji off of the Prayers. And then now I go Chainlink 1 Mirakuma, Chainlink 2 Saji. And this is just giving me a lot of follow-up. Search for another Prayers here. Special summon, search 2 Prayers. Thanks, Saji. And summon back on Mirakuma. Mirakuma's effect is going to Regeki. He goes Droplets. And he's thinking here. He's thinking. he just sends one. He's thinking. And he normal summons Anguish. I go droplets, hitting the Anguish. And I didn't send Crescendo here, which is interesting. Why I didn't send that. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did that. I think that was better to keep Sanji on board, but whatever. He is thinking really hard here. And I already used my Desiree and I already used my Murakumo, but I still got the Fields or the Paradise to nuke the entire board here. So he's thinking, I don't know what he's thinking about here because I don't think he has anything here. Oh, I guess he has this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, because it has to be different names, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he actually can't summon that card because of the triple Anguish. Unfortunate. So he scoops, and then now we're going to go to game 2 here. And he's starting off with his hand. I open Ferraros and Meows, and I messed up my sighting. This is the only trap card I kept in my deck, and this should have been a Perulia. So technically, I would have opened triple Charmies, and this should have been a Perulia here, but it's whatever. And his opening hands is Pot of Prosperity, Breakout, Fusion, Blade, and Takashinogo. So again, I'm gonna let him pop off here because I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and activate Fua. He doesn't have Ash for it, which is fantastic. And now he has to play under Meowth and Fua, which is tough for this deck. Being locked underneath both is insane. He Pot of Prosperity for 3, which is kind of weird to me, but whatever. As DD Crow, Takashinogo is going to go ahead and send 3 to the graveyard. Then I activate Meows on Gaddock's effect. Gaddock adds back Mace. And this was just tough. I don't know how he makes a nice size inboard without getting me a ton of advantage here. I drew Ash off the top, which is very lucky for me. And then he goes Fusion, bringing out him. That's going to pop Search 2. And if he activates the graveyard effect, I get another draw off that, which is fantastic for me. Goblin, then Fusion popping. Wait, did he not pop off a Fusion? Oh, we're making mistakes here. Yeah, he banished Fusion, but didn't pop on the field here, which is whatever. I guess I missed that. But yeah, he was supposed to pop, but it's fine. Then SP Little Knight banishing Ash, and then he's gonna summon the creation here from the hand. Sets 2 and pass. Then he says, oh yeah, you can just peek it. What? Why was I thinking that was a fusion when I'm clearly looking? Okay, sorry. I feel like I just not used to DB. It's been 3 days. I haven't really played that much Yu-Gi-Oh, but whatever. So fusion and breakout are both set here. So, you know, whatever. So I go draw phase prayer, distributing Sanji. And then he's going to chain that effect. But first, I have to do my effects first. And then he gets his chain. Now he changed it properly here. So Sanji is going to search out my ritual, which is good here. Then he goes effect. I don't think he meant to use this effect. I think he just misclicked. But yeah, no, he did use the effect. He used the effect and then he chained fusion. So then I go droplets here, sending just the engraver. I still have a normal summon in harp, so I'm still good on that. And we're gonna hit that card. And then now he's gonna send to the graveyard, make a Dragostapelia. And the reason why I did that is because I want to keep Sanji on the field as a resource to go into Fiendsmith if I need to. And plus the Fiendsmith engraver in my hand was dead for the most part. So then I'm going to ritual summon, sending the, or tributing Aramasa and Kusanagi. And here we're just in a good spot here. We're not going to activate Aramasa effect because I just want to keep as many Habakuris in grave or in the deck. So, yep, didn't really had to. He's going to use Dragostapelia to negate my Mirakumo. Yeah, so then I'm going to target my ritual spell off the Kusanagi. And I'm thinking I was going to use the effect or not, and I am. So he is going to think on discard. Yeah, he misclicked on that, so he meant to discard it, which is weird. No, it's not weird because he still had mace into take here, so I guess that's a little bit, he valued that a little bit more than the DD Crow here. And also, we got to look up the banishes here. We have him banish Asus Code Talker, Donner, and the Celine here. I forgot to show off the banishes there. He DD Crows, or sorry, he discarded DD Crow with the Mirakumo, so now this has a counter, and it's level 1. I normal summon the Harp, and then he just scoops here. He goes Orcust, Mitsu, Fiendsmith, and I say, yep. And he goes, this is enough to me. I hate this format, LOL. I don't think this format is that bad, honestly. I think it's fine, but I had options for days. So basically what I was going to do here is that, and I had Foolish Burial too, so I had plenty of pushes, but I was going to go into the link one effect, you know, search. I don't know if it's going to be Babel here or Crown, most likely Crown, and then go into Fiendsmith engine, Fiendsmith stuff, and then yeah, I just had everything. Harp is coming to use his effect to summon Gearsu. I still had Link 1 engraved. It was just over. I was gonna plan on taking his big 5,000 beater and take it from him, but yeah, he just quit and just that was it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. I think the next Orcust video is gonna see how this deck plays through Nib. So I'm going to show you guys how this deck doesn't at all gets cooked by Nib unless you just play into it really hard. So I'll show you guys some combos and test hands through Nib, and I can show you guys how that deck works out very well. So all right guys, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.